All right, what's up, y'all? So, as you know, the Rams are in the middle of a three-game losing streak, um, which is crazy to think about. In fact, I believe they went this entire month without winning a game, um, which is, like I said, crazy. And you would expect, and as you would expect, the team has been taking a lot of heat this week, specifically Sean McVay, and rightfully so. He is the head coach of the team that had a lot of hype and Super Bowl aspirations in the offseason. And now, as of late, they have been, let's say, underperforming. And they do deserve some. However, though, for the purposes of this video, I really don't want to beat up the Rams or Sean in this case. I kind of wanted to basically just kind of give my personal thoughts and on what the Rams kind of have been struggling with and some things I believe that they can do to improve the offense for the remainder of this season. Now, just to say this up front, I'm no coach. All right, I have never been a coach. I have no experience in coaching, nor have am I privy to the team or how they run things over there or like the internal conversations. I don't know anything like that. I'm not in the building. I understand that there are probably a lot of moving parts, a lot of different variables that that I just simply don't understand as a fan. I understand that. Like I understand there are just things I just won't get with the team here, but because I'm just a fan, I'm just a guy on YouTube talking about the Rams. I'm no expert, or anything like that. But having said that, I have watched this team for a very long time, and I've been a big fan since I was a boy. And I like to think I have at least a basic knowledge of football. And the what I'm about to talk about are my humble opinions, my own humble opinions that I've been thinking about that our offense that of which has been struggling the past couple of weeks can kind of do and or change to, and if they do this, I believe that they will improve for the remainder of the 2021 season. Because let's all remember that despite the fact that it's been a rough couple of weeks for us, we're still in a good spot. Believe it or not, we are. We are 8-4. We control our own destiny. Yes, it does not seem that way now, but it is true. We can we can still win the division. Maybe it will be a lot harder for them to do so. They need to get moving now if they want to do that. But moreover, we control our own fate when it comes to making the playoffs or not, and or still making a deep run to accomplish the season's goal. That can still happen. That can still happen. If the Rams don't improve on on the offense and defense, however, it's just not going to happen. And without further ado, these are my three things I believe the Rams offense can do to improve for the 2021 season. All right. So my first thing is no more empty sets and to make the O line a priority for now and in the future. So the Rams, I have noticed, have been running a lot of empty sets as of late, and I think obviously a big part of that. Like I said, there's a lot I don't know, and I understand that this is the set that they were most likely training with the most in training camp. So abandoning that is not the easiest thing to do. I realize that, but as of right now, I believe we just need to scrap the empty sets. That's just my opinion. We just aren't, it's just not working. So I found this nice little article here, and pretty much just before I get really into it, empty set, a little definition on what empty set is. It is a formation where the offense, here it is right here, where the offense lines up with 5 receivers and nobody in the backfield other than the quarterback, hence the name empty. He goes on to explain he uses receivers, but they don't necessarily have to be wide receivers. They can be, they can use like a tight end or a running back in that formation as the receiver for the play, so it doesn't necessarily have to be just wide receivers. It's basically you just want to get people who are really fast and really good pass catchers is what you want to do with this set. And he goes on to explain, and ironically enough, the idea with the empty set is to, while having all 5 receivers on the field, the quarterback's already back, so he in turn takes it helps him by getting more time to read the defense. Okay, it's essentially so he doesn't have to take a step back, so he's essentially already in his spot, and he can hike the ball, the receivers can run, and whatever routes they go, he can choose which one faster. And it's supposed to help alleviate some of the pressure, which is ironic because the pressure is getting to him anyway. I'll get to that here in a second. Yeah, because generally the idea for the empty set is to spread the defense out. Here, I'm going to read this a little bit. The purpose of the empty set is to spread out the defense. A lot of receivers will spread from sideline to sideline, forcing the defense to cover pretty much all sides of the field. You ideally want to catch them. They want to substitute the slower players for faster players to kind of guard them. And I've noticed that the Rams sometimes will run a running play, hurry to the line, an empty set, in the hopes, I believe, in catching the defense off guard and unable to substitute, and catching them with a slower player that they can exploit is, I believe, the strategy in the hurry-up offense after a run play. However, it just hasn't been working for a number of issues, which I will kind of touch on here in a little bit. But one, basically, is the O-line. The O-line cannot hold a pass rush. Like, as of late, okay, and before I get started, I will say this was a concern of mine in the offseason, but to my surprise, for the majority of the season, the O-line has actually been playing pretty well, and I'm actually was happy with their performance. I am still not sure how I want to grade them. I kind of want to wait till the end of the season to fully grade them, but I have to tell you guys that from what I've seen the past 3 weeks, considering the last 3 weeks were like the best teams we've played in this season, it's honestly, it's not looking good for my final grade for them, because the last 3 weeks against big, strong, physical D lines, our O-line that are physical, as I've said many, many times, I don't think this team is physical enough, and they have pretty much dominated our O-line. From Tennessee to San Francisco and Green Bay, they just could not hold up the pass rush when they were an empty set. Like, the idea is to give Matthew less time to think, but he barely has any time to think because they're instantly on him. It's not working. All right, so we need to scrap it. Okay, the O-line, has to be a priority for now and in the future. Moving on, O-line is too weak, can't hold off the pass rush from superior, more physical football teams, like I was just saying. The interior of the O-line is the most glaring. Brian Allen at center, Austin Corbett at guard, and David Edwards at guard. And to show you what I'm actually talking about, hold on. I want to show you this little clip. This little clip here from Week 9, the Titans and the Rams. I want you to go ahead and keep your eye on Mr. David Edwards here. He's this guy right here where my mouse is at. And we're going to watch him get completely annihilated by this Titans player here, okay? And trust me when I tell you, I take no pleasure in this. David, if you somehow hear about this, I am not trying to be disrespectful. I am not trying to embarrass you. I am merely observing as a fan how the team has played and pointing out a extremely glaring and concerning weakness on this team being pass pro. And unfortunately, you're in this video here, so you keep an eye on him. Look at that. Look at him just get annihilated, just completely, instantly, just gets blown off the line and is instantly pushed back. Like, what are you backing up for? Look at how easily he is pushed into Matthew. Unacceptable. Completely unacceptable. It's just we cannot have that, guys. We just can't. If you want to go win the championship, you have to give Matthew some time. All right. So the empty set just is not working. Solution for the future: invest in strengthening the trenches however you can in the offseason, Sean. Depending on, like I said, this kind of goes in with how I feel their grade will be after the season. So I'm going to hold off for the most part until then. But like I said, it's not looking good. And you need to strengthen the O-line somehow this offseason. We do not really have a lot of picks in the near future. So that is going to be incredibly difficult to do, but you're going to have to find a way to do it, because if it wasn't important before, I hope you now realize how important the O-line can be. This is just my opinion, okay? You can agree, you can disagree. It's whatever. It's just what I've personally seen. It's not good enough. I'm sorry. So far. But like I said, I'll do a final grade at the end of the season. And for this season, something I feel that can help with our O-line issues, because effectively, right, we have what we have, okay? But I'd like to see formations where they sacrifice a receiver or running back and implement maybe another O-lineman, maybe even two, if that's possible. I'm not a play designer, all right, Joseph Nobu, maybe get him out there. He did pretty decent when he's played at tackle. Maybe help extra protect Matthew. Excuse me. Maybe add another tight end. I understand that we are thin at tight end. I understand that you lost Johnny Munt. I don't know what's going on with that other young man that we drafted a few years ago. I am blanking on his name. Williams. He's not playing right now. He was drafted early, I guess, in the fourth round or so, and he's kind of been. I think he's been demoted a little bit, because we got Kendall Blanton coming from the practice squad, and I believe he's made a spot on the roster. So use them, use an extra tight end, but like we need to get Matthew more protection. We have to reinforce the line. It is not good enough right now. I think a big issue is Stafford is becoming frustrated because he has no time to find and make his reads, and he's getting hammered back there. So an extra man to defend him would be nice, and also to get the ball out of his hands as fast as possible. I wrote down implement more of a compact formation set. Just do some jet sweeps, line up in the I formation, do some outside zone runs, quick screen passes, halfback screens. You know more than I would. The team. We need to do a little more ball controlled offense. I think that'll help too. And we need to attack the defense, okay? We need to really put our hands on the defense and push them back because they are way too comfortable right now. They are those DNs and D linemen. They don't really they're just rushing in, okay? And as you saw in that video, we like to back up, I guess. The O linemen like to back up during pass plays and let the rushing defender run into you. I'm not an O lineman, but it just does not seem like it's working. I would like to see them maybe more ground themselves a little more, put their feet down and kind of anchor the line and just hold them back. That's that's something we need to do. I think we need to be proactive and aggressively hit them first. The O-line needs to jump first and hit them. Okay, I understand it's different on running plays and passing plays, but we're looking a little too passive is what I'm getting at. Okay, and this what I was just talking about leads me to my second point where I think they need to improve upon is simplify the offense. I think we need to simplify it for the time being. The team looks confused at times, the offense. There are a lot of moving parts and new players due to trades and injuries, and I believe it's affecting their play. Simplifying the offense, I believe, will greatly help both Matthew Stafford and you, Sean. For Matthew, as smart as he is, and I wrote this down here, we need to remember that this is his first season in the offense, and it is his first season with this offense, and it's a complicated one. And that's something, I know he's a 12-year vet. He's very smart. I'm very happy to have him on the team, but the offensive system McVay has implemented is a very complicated one. And I feel it takes time to learn it. And not only learn it, but develop chemistry with the fellow receivers. And I don't think Matthew has fully mastered that yet. Nor, it's his first season. These things take time. So, with that being the case, perhaps simplifying the offense, at least for the time being, will greatly help him make better decisions. Will help him not, by decisions I mean turning the ball over, frantically throwing it just to make a play because he's constantly being harassed. He's trying to make something happen, but in turn that leads to turnovers, and we've been spotting the opposing team way too many points the past couple weeks. Way too many. That needs to stop. That needs to stop ASAP. And I think if we just make it just a little easier just for now, I think it will help with that. And add to the fact, as I continue on here, there have been injuries to we lost Robert Woods for the year. We've lost Johnny Munn. We've had other injuries. These aren't your fault, Sean. And the new players being implemented to the offense throughout the year, like OBJ, I saw an article the other day where it says in the title that Sean is going to implement certain packages, as you can see, for OBJ. And like I said, I don't know. I'm not in the building. I don't know what that pertains if it's any different. But in my eyes, I feel like you're adding more plays, like more plays to the playbook, and causing it to be more complicated. And it, and maybe Matthew has mastered it. Who knows? But it just seems like a lot. It's it just seems like a lot to ask of our first year quarterback in this system to learn the system in general, and then add new players, some of which is not your fault because of injuries. Add new players into the offense and establish chemistry with those players is a tall task, and maybe breaking it up into chunks would serve him better. And I go on simplifying the offense. I believe will benefit you too, Sean. It just seems like it seems like certain points of the game, sometimes the pressure just seems like gets the better of you. And I'm not trying to look, man. I'm not trying to be disrespectful or embarrass you or anything like that. Like I'm really not. I'm going through this whole thing. I've beaten you up a lot. I've beaten the team a lot. But in this video, I'm really just trying to look at what's going on objectively and just kind of provide my own solution. Take that as you will. Yeah, just a random guy on YouTube who probably doesn't know what the hell he's talking about, but take that as you will. It's just I'm just trying to be a bit more solution oriented in this video because I do tend to go on tangents a lot. So, but the point I am trying to make here is sometimes it just seems like you're panicking, man, and that you make your play calls just seem erratic, and I think that's having an effect on the offense and confusing them a little bit. So I just feel like if you just ran some basic plays that are easy to remember and the most comfortable for the quarterback, and I just feel like that will settle I just feel like this whole thing will settle everything down, settle everyone down, and effectively get them in a groove, and then that's when you can implement the more complicated and downfield attack. I think slowing things down is something we need to work on, in my humble opinion. So, moving on to my last point. Third, we need to implement a more consistent rushing attack. As I've said many, many times, run the football. I'm sure you have heard that quite a few times yourself, Sean. Because the fan base has been going after you guys lately, man. It's been pretty crazy, but it's true though. We do need to implement more of a consistent rushing attack, and I feel that you were doing that in Green Bay's game. I actually think you were doing that, and I found that we ran the consistency of which we ran was much better in this game. I thought we needed to run more, but I did notice the attempt, and sometimes, Sean, it's just not gonna. Sometimes you're just not gonna pick up a lot of yards. Sometimes the defense is just gonna get the better of you, and Green Bay's defense is pretty damn good. So don't get discouraged of continuing to run after the Green Bay game. They're a good defense. But the whole thing I want to do is to establish the tone, establish the tone, the creativity, and the time of possession. So, what do I mean by that? Well, establishing the tone. A consistent rushing attack sets a tone to the defense that you are more than just a team who can make exciting, explosive plays. It shows that you're more than a team that's a finesse team that uses deception and speed to win the day, which is, I believe, what we try to do for the most part. Though it is very important, and you do need to have that, of course. But what you also need to have is the ability to lay your hands on the defense and push them away when you see fit. Okay? It does not have to be the primary identity of the team, but if you will notice, in all championship football teams, they all, the ones who win always have an element of this. It's not maybe their primary identity, like what they're known for, but they're physical, so it's, I've said this plenty of times, and in my other videos, we have to be more physical. We have to make the defense respect us. We'll respect you guys as men and as a team. You have to punch them in the mouth. All right, you got to get those legs tired and get them to crowd the line, and then that's when you strike over the top, like you did last week. Like you did just that in the Green Bay game. There was two big plays, like to Van, and who was the second guy, man? I think it was OBJ. Yeah, man, you got two big plays to those guys, and a lot of it was because you were running the ball consistently, and it set up the long play. That's why I keep saying run the ball. It's not just about running the ball. I like the big plays too. Running the ball sets that up, and you were doing that last week. All right, don't get discouraged because we lost. To stop doing what you were doing last week and consistently running the ball, because that's how you get those big plays. So I want to see more. I want to see more rushing attack. Okay, hold on. Okay, yeah. So establishing creativity in the run game. Okay, what do I mean by creativity? I will say this, Sean, you are one of the best play designers I've seen on this team. All right. I think Sean is one of the best ones in the NFL, in my opinion. He's a very good play designer. It's his strength. And he designs a very complicated and dangerous passing attack. It has been so nice to see after so many years of Jeff Fisher football and real subpar offensive play for the better part of a decade, for like 13, 14 years. That was not fun to watch. So you bringing your dangerous passing attack has been a treat to watch, Sean. The thing is, I just wish, I want to see more energy in designing new and dangerous ways to attack the defense through the rushing attack. So what I mean is I want to see more of your creativity in creating designed run plays. If there's anyone that can do it, I think it's you. I think I want to see the there's more play design and more commitment to the run game, not just something you have to do to like try to maintain balance. It's a very effective way of injuring the defense. So, and I understand, that Daryl Henderson and Sony Michel are on something of a pitch count. I believe, I don't know this. This is just what I feel. They're on a pitch count considering their injury histories, but we just can't abandon the run. All right. I mean, you can use, like I'm continuing on here, just get the ball in the playmaker's hands. I don't think we need to use Daryl and Sony all the time. You can use some of the wide receivers to run the ball in jet sweeps. I know you had done that with Robert Woods this year, and he looked damn well doing it. And while obviously Robert is no longer able to play for us this year, I think, OBJ, I think, can do it. I know Cooper Kupp, you could throw him some screens or just hand the ball outright to him. Kupp was playing very physical, and he is a gem. He's one of my favorites on this team. He's a total team guy, and I love his physical play. When he caught the ball in last week's game, Green Bay would go to tackle him. He would always stand him up. Like I noticed that. Like that resistance to be taken down. I love it. I think if you get him the ball in the run game, he can do some damage too. That's just my opinion on that. Get some Get some play designs for the ground game. You know, I think you can do it. And time of possession pretty much is just, you know, we just haven't we've had a very we haven't been on the field much. And I think if we hold up our end and slow things down and take more time on the drives, it'll give our defense some much needed rest because they are exhausted by the end of the games because of how much time they have to play. And I just feel like, you know, a more commitment to the ground game and the ball control offense will help with that. You know, so that's essentially it right there. Uh, you know, I just last, I guess I'll just end with this. You know that Sean's a really good coach. Sean, you're a great coach. You know, I saw you. You know, it seemed like I saw the interview with McVay speak, Coach McVay speak. He does a show with the old Rams, the lineman DeMarco Farr and JB Long, and during that show, he saw some of the comments, saw some of the comments in like the live chat as the show was being filmed, and you know, and it was clear that it was bothering him a little bit, that the criticism from the fan base was bothering him. And on the one hand, you know, as the head coach, you need to be able to deal with those things. On the other hand, you know, I understand that that can get real damn old. Hearing people bitch at you all the time. Trust me, I know. Not on that scale, but just having people bitch to you, you know? So it's it can be it can be irritating. Don't let it discourage you though, Sean. You know, it's just part of the deal. Fans are emotional, myself included. All right, so you know, it's just take it on the chin and kind of roll with it. You know, I know you already know this, so, but you know, you have a great QB. I go on to, in my humble opinion, as a random, as a random dude who just watches football on his couch, if you consider any of these changes, I believe that our 2021 offensive production will improve. I am a fan. I will always be a fan, no matter how the season turns out. You know, it's no matter what happens, I'll still be rooting for the team. So good luck to you boys. Work hard, play hard, and yet you have to remember to have fun because that can get lost in all this craziness that it is a game and you guys really need to have fun. I don't think you guys have been having a lot of fun the past couple weeks. And I know that's easy for me to say. It's not fun getting embarrassed on national television 2 weeks in a row and then getting beat up last week on pretty much national television again. It was game of the week on Fox. So, but remember to have fun is my point. All right, just remember to have fun, and that's really all we can ask for as a fan base. So those were just my thoughts, my humble thoughts on what I think the offense can do to improve for the rest of this season. I am going to go ahead and cut it off here because I have been rambling way too long. And I will catch you guys on the next one. And as always, go Rams.